A few months ago, I decided I was finally going to become one of those people who has a perfect morning routine. You know the type. Calm face, clean kitchen, water bottle already full, somehow awake before the sun with soft music playing in the background.
Ah, yes, the people who look like they greet the sunrise personally.
Exactly. So the night before, I made a full plan. I even wrote it on a sticky note and put it on my bedroom door like it was a message from a wiser version of me. Wake up at 6. Drink water. Stretch. Read 2 pages in English. Review vocabulary. No phone for 30 minutes.
That already sounds dangerous. Too organized. Too confident.
It was wildly confident. Then morning came. My alarm rang, and my first feeling was not pride. My first feeling was betrayal. I looked at the room, looked at the blanket, and thought, no, this is not the right emotional environment for self-improvement.
The emotional environment was heavily in favor of sleep.
Deeply. I turned off the alarm and told myself, I'll start in 5 minutes. Then I opened my phone just to check the time. Somehow, 3 minutes later, I was watching a video of a woman teaching her parrot to say good morning, Queen.
Honestly, that parrot sounds supportive.
More supportive than my mood was. Then I rushed out of bed, stepped on a cold floor, dropped one sock, couldn't find the other one, and finally went downstairs wearing 2 completely different socks and a face full of regret.
A fashion statement built by poor decisions.
Exactly. And in that messy moment, I realized something important. My mood had no plan for me. My mood just wanted comfort, delay, and maybe bird videos. So later that day, I made a simpler rule for myself. I call it the plan first method. Decide what matters before your mood begins its morning speech.
Because your mood may have feelings, but it does not always have leadership skills.
Exactly. So today, we're talking about a simple idea that can change how you study, work, and live. Follow your plan, not your mood. And if that lesson can save me from another two-suck identity crisis, I think it's worth sharing.
Hey there, welcome back to Speak Unstoppable, the channel where we build real English through real conversations.
I'm Maria.
And I'm John. And yes, Maria is here today wearing matching socks, which means growth is possible.
Thank you for noticing. Healing is not always fast, but it is stylish.
Today we're talking about something so many people struggle with: how to follow your plan instead of your mood.
Because moods change fast. A plan can stay steady.
We'll talk about why people wait to feel ready, how to build a plan you can actually trust, and what to do on messy, low-energy days.
And later, we'll have a full word tour with 6 useful words, plus Rewrite It, where we turn nervous thoughts into stronger, calmer English.
So let's start here. Why do so many smart, capable people still delay action until they feel like doing it?
I think the first reason is simple. Mood feels true. If I feel excited, I think, great, this means I should start now. If I feel tired, I think, well, clearly today is not the day.
Right. We treat a feeling like evidence.
Yes. Not just a feeling. Evidence, proof, almost like our emotions are giving us professional advice.
Which is funny, because sometimes the emotion is just hunger.
Exactly. Or bad sleep. Or stress. Or rain. Or one awkward message. Or the fact that your neighbor looked more organized than you at 8 in the morning.
Still thinking about the socks, huh?
I may never fully recover. But seriously, mood is often temporary, and yet we let it make long decisions.
That is the dangerous part. A temporary emotion makes a big decision. I feel slow today, so I won't study. I feel shy today, so I won't speak. I feel behind, so I might as well give up this week.
Yes, mood can make everything sound final. It says, "This is who you are today," and then it quietly adds, "and maybe forever."
And for English learners, this happens all the time. One small mistake can create a huge emotional story.
Exactly. You forget one word in conversation and suddenly your brain says, "See, you are not ready. Please return to silence immediately."
Your brain can be very dramatic.
Very. But a plan gives a different message. A plan says, "We already decided what matters. You do not need a special feeling. You need the next action."
That is why plans are calming. They remove the question of whether you feel like it.
Yes. When the decision is already made, I spend less energy arguing with myself.
So the first big shift is this. Feelings can inform you, but they do not need to control you.
Exactly. Motivation is lovely when it arrives, but it is not the boss.
And that leads to our first takeaway. Don't wait for an emotional green light to begin. I think another reason people follow mood is that they make plans in a very unrealistic state of mind.
Oh, absolutely, Sunday night confidence is a dangerous thing.
It really is. Sunday night says, "This week I will wake up early, exercise, study English for an hour, meal prep, answer every message, and become a new person by Thursday."
Yes, Sunday night has no respect for Monday's actual energy.
So then what happens? Monday arrives, real life happens, the plan feels too big, and people blame themselves.
Which is sad, because often the problem is not discipline. The problem is design. The plan was created for a fantasy person.
A fantasy person with endless energy, no stress, and apparently perfect skin.
Exactly. I used to do this with language study. I would write huge lists, watch a full interview, learn 20 new words, write a page, practice pronunciation, review grammar, speak for 30 minutes.
That sounds less like a plan and more like a guilt machine.
It really was. If I missed one item, I felt like I ruined the whole day. Then I would avoid the plan because I didn't want to face my own disappointment.
That is such a common pattern. People think they are lazy, but really they are reacting to a plan that feels impossible.
Yes, the turning point for me was making the plan smaller. Not smaller in my dreams, smaller in real life. 15 minutes of English. 1 article. 5 sentences. 1 audio clip. That was enough.
And because it was enough, you could actually do it on a normal day.
Exactly. I stopped performing discipline and started practicing it.
Say that again.
I stopped performing discipline and started practicing it.
That's strong.
Because some plans are made to impress us. Better plans are made to support us.
And when you can trust the plan, you start trusting yourself again.
Yes, you build proof. Proof that says, I do return. I do continue. I do keep small promises.
So our second takeaway is this. A realistic plan builds more confidence than a heroic plan you keep avoiding.
Let's go deeper into that idea of trust, because I think this is where many people get emotional.
Very true. People often think planning is about productivity, but it is also about your relationship with yourself.
Exactly. Every time you make a huge promise and then disappear from it, something small happens inside. You start doubting your own word.
And when that happens, again and again. Even simple tasks feel heavier.
Yes. You start hearing this quiet sentence in your head, I probably won't do it anyway.
That sentence can damage so much progress.
It really can. That is why I now think a good plan should feel like support, not punishment. It should sound like a kind friend. Here is a clear step. Here is a good time. Here is the minimum. Let's make this easier for you.
I love that, because many people use planning as self-criticism with pretty stationery.
Exactly. A notebook can be beautiful and still be emotionally aggressive.
That should be printed somewhere.
But seriously, if your plan only works when you feel amazing, then it is not a strong plan. It is a fair weather plan.
And fair weather plans disappear the moment life becomes normal.
Yes, a useful plan respects the fact that you may be tired, busy, sad, distracted, or simply very human.
So instead of asking, what would my best self do every day? Maybe ask, what can my real self repeat most days?
That question changes everything. Because repetition matters more than fantasy.
Especially with English. You do not improve because one day you felt amazing and studied for 2 hours. You improve because you stayed connected to the language again and again.
Exactly. Small contact, repeated often, beats emotional intensity once in a while.
So the third takeaway is this. Planning should strengthen trust between present you and future you. Okay, let's make this practical. If someone is listening right now and thinking, fine, I agree, but what do I actually do tomorrow? Let's give them a method.
Yes, a very simple version of the plan first method. 4 steps.
We love a method with numbers. It feels responsible.
Step 1. Choose one visible action. Not something vague like improve English or be more productive. Choose an action you can point to. Read 1 page. Review 10 flashcards. Record a 1-minute voice note. Shadow 1 short clip.
So if the action is too blurry, the brain can escape.
Exactly. Vague plans create vague effort. Step 2. Make the action smaller than your ego wants.
Painful, but correct.
Your ego wants a transformation story. Your real life needs something repeatable. Step 3. Give it a home. A time, a place, or a trigger. After breakfast. On the bus. At my desk before I check messages. Right after dinner.
That part matters because the brain loves patterns and hates open loops.
Yes. And step 4. Decide the minimum win in advance. Ask, what is the smallest version that still counts if the day gets messy?
That might be 5 minutes instead of 20.
Exactly. Or 3 sentences instead of a paragraph. Or listening carefully to 1 short audio clip instead of doing a full lesson.
I think that minimum win is what protects the habit.
It really does. Because bad days are not rare. They are part of life. If the plan cannot survive a hard day, the plan is too fragile.
Wow, that's good.
Thank you. And when you complete the minimum, don't insult it by saying, that was nothing. Respect it. Say, good. I stayed connected.
So the fourth takeaway is this. Make the plan clear, small, scheduled, and flexible enough to survive ordinary life.
Now let's talk about a common misunderstanding. When people hear follow your plan, not your mood, some of them think it means ignore your feelings completely.
Which would be terrible advice.
Exactly. We're not saying feelings are useless. Feelings can carry useful information. If you are sick, deeply exhausted, grieving, or overwhelmed, You may need rest, support, or a different kind of day.
Right. The lesson is not be a robot. The lesson is don't let every passing emotion become a final decision.
Yes, there is a difference between listening to your condition and obeying every mood.
Let's make that concrete.
Okay. Imagine your plan says 20 minutes of speaking practice, but you had a hard day at work, your brain is full, and your energy is low. You do not need to force a perfect performance.
So, what do you do instead?
You adjust the size, not the identity. Maybe you do 5 minutes of shadowing. Maybe you read your notes out loud. Maybe you review yesterday's words and stop there.
That line is so helpful. Adjust the size, not the identity.
Because the identity is the part we want to protect. You are still a person who returns. You are still a person who shows up.
And honestly, strict systems often fail because they leave no room for real life.
Exactly. Some people think flexibility is weakness, but healthy flexibility is what allows consistency to continue.
A rigid plan can break fast.
Yes, I think a good plan should be strong like a tree branch, not stiff like dry glass. It should move when life pushes on it.
That is such a clear image.
So when your mood says, skip everything, answer with a better question. What version can I still do today?
And our fifth takeaway is this. Honor reality when you must, but do not abandon yourself just because the day feels difficult. Before we leave the main part, I want to talk directly to the listener who feels stuck in a stop and start cycle.
Yes. The listener who keeps having strong beginnings and quiet disappearances.
Maybe your week sounds like this. Monday, you feel inspired, so you study for an hour. Tuesday, you're busy, so you do nothing. Wednesday, you feel guilty, so you avoid English. Thursday, you feel behind, so you tell yourself you'll restart next week.
That cycle is exhausting. And after a while, it can feel personal. You start thinking, maybe I am just not consistent. Maybe I am just not that kind of person.
But maybe the problem is not your personality. Maybe the problem is that your mood has become your calendar.
Oof, that line hurts a little, because it is true.
Thank you. But I think it is good news too. Because calendars can change.
Exactly. If you want better English, you do not need a new identity. You need a better system. A smaller daily step. A clear minimum. A gentle restart.
And you need to stop turning every missed day into a full character review.
Yes. Missing one day means one thing. You missed one day. It does not prove that you are lazy, weak, hopeless, or bad at learning.
The faster you come back, the less power that missed day has.
I love the word return for that reason. Return feels calm. It does not ask for shame. It does not require a speech. It just says, come back to the next step.
So maybe tonight, instead of promising yourself a perfect new life, make one honest plan for tomorrow.
One action. One time. One minimum win.
Then when tomorrow's mood arrives with a long list of excuses, you can smile politely and say, "Thank you for sharing. The plan is already decided."
Respectfully noted. Not accepted.
Exactly.
And the final takeaway from the main part is this. Build a routine you can return to, not a performance you can only do on your best days. All right, let's move into our word tour. Today we chose 6 words that fit this topic really well.
As always, listen, repeat, and then try to use at least one of these in your own English this week.
Word 1 is discipline.
Discipline. Repeat. Discipline.
Discipline means the ability to keep doing what matters, even when it feels difficult, boring, or uncomfortable.
Another simple way to think about it is this. Discipline helps you act on your decision, not only on your emotion.
Spoken example, I didn't feel motivated, but discipline helped me open my notebook anyway.
Written example. Long-term improvement usually depends more on discipline than on temporary excitement.
Word 2 is momentum.
Momentum. Say it again, momentum. Momentum is the energy that grows when you continue moving in the same direction.
When you stop and start again and again, momentum becomes weak. When you keep going, even in a small way, momentum begins to help you.
Spoken example. After 3 short study days in a row, I finally felt some momentum.
Written example, small repeated actions can create momentum over time.
Word 3 is realistic.
Realistic. Repeat. Realistic. Realistic means practical and possible in real life, not only attractive in your imagination.
A realistic plan fits your real schedule, your real energy, and your real responsibilities.
Spoken example, my first study plan looked exciting, but it wasn't realistic for my schedule.
Written example. A realistic routine is easier to follow during busy weeks.
Word 4 is commit.
Commit. Repeat. Commit. To commit means to decide firmly that you will do something and continue with it.
It does not mean you will feel perfect every day. It means you stay connected to the choice you made.
Spoken example. I committed to 10 minutes of speaking practice after dinner.
Written example, learners improve faster when they commit to a regular habit.
Word 5 is adjust.
Adjust. Say it with us, adjust. Adjust means to change something a little so it works better in the situation you have now.
Adjust is a very healthy word because it reminds us that change is not always failure. Sometimes change is wisdom.
Spoken example, I was tired, so I adjusted my plan and studied for 5 minutes instead of 20.
Written example. Flexible students adjust their methods without giving up their goals.
Word 6 is consistent.
Consistent. Repeat. Consistent. Consistent means happening regularly in a steady way, even if each effort is small.
A lot of learners think consistent means perfect. It doesn't. It means you return often enough to keep the habit alive.
Spoken example, my practice is short, but it is consistent, and that makes a real difference.
Written example, consistent review helps new vocabulary stay in long-term memory.
Let's recap all 6 words together. Discipline, momentum, realistic, commit, adjust, consistent.
If you want a simple practice challenge, choose one of those words and make one true sentence about your own life.
Say it once out loud, write it once in a notebook or in your phone, and try to use it in conversation this week.
And remember, vocabulary becomes powerful when you actively use it, not when you only recognize it.
Time for Rewrite It, where we take nervous or negative sentences and turn them into calmer, clearer, more confident English.
We have 6 sentences today, all connected to this idea of following your plan instead of your mood.
Sentence 1. I only study when I feel motivated.
A stronger version is, I study according to my plan, even when motivation is low. That sounds more grounded and more disciplined.
Sentence 2. I failed yesterday, so this week is ruined.
Better version, Yesterday was difficult, but I can return to my plan today. Short, calm, and realistic.
Sentence 3. My plan is too small, so it doesn't count.
Let's upgrade it. My small plan still counts because consistent action builds momentum. That sounds much healthier.
Sentence 4. If I change the plan, it means I'm weak.
Try this instead. I can adjust the plan and still stay committed to my goal. That keeps strength in the sentence.
Sentence 5. I missed one day, so I should stop.
New version. Missing one day is not the end. The important thing is to begin again quickly. That sounds like someone who understands growth.
Sentence 6. I need the perfect mood to speak English.
Stronger version. I don't need the perfect mood. I need a clear next step and the courage to begin. That one may be my favorite.
Mine too, because it reminds us that progress is usually practical, not dramatic.
And notice something important here. In each rewrite, the new sentence removes shame and adds direction.
That's a great point. Strong English often sounds calmer, not louder.
Exactly. When learners feel nervous, they sometimes use language that sounds extreme. Words like ruined, failed, or impossible can make a problem feel bigger.
But when you rewrite the sentence, you create more space. Space to continue. Space to adjust. Space to try again.
So here is a useful habit. When you catch a dramatic sentence in your mind, pause and ask, what is a truer, calmer version?
Maybe not I can't do this, but this feels hard, and I can take one small step.
Maybe not I'm too inconsistent, but I'm still learning how to become more consistent.
Maybe not I need the perfect mood, but I need a realistic plan and the courage to start.
Exactly. When your inner voice becomes negative, don't automatically trust its first sentence. Pause, rewrite it. Choose language that helps you move forward.
Better language can create better action.
So today's strongest reframe is this. You do not need the perfect mood to make progress. You need a realistic plan and the choice to follow it. So let's wrap up. Today's big lesson is simple. Moods move. But a good plan can keep you steady.
Make the plan clear. Make it small. Adjust it when real life happens. And return without turning one messy day into a big story.
Your challenge this week is to choose one tiny English action and connect it to a real moment in your day.
Then write it in the comments like this. After dinner, I will practice for 10 minutes. Or on the train, I will review 5 words.
We would love to read your sentence.
And if this episode helped you, subscribe to Speak Unstoppable, like the video, and watch the next one for more real English practice.
Thanks for spending this time with us.
Bye for now.
Bye for now.